Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we are going to discuss the next subtopic of this unit sound, that is characteristics of sound. So let's start. As you know now, the sound, it is a form of energy which gives us sensation of hearing. So the correct as if we discuss the its characteristics, one is
loudness, loudness, पिच एंड क्वालिटी, जिसे हम टिम्बरी भी कहते हैं, QUALID, और टिम्बरी.
So let's discuss them one by one. First is loudness, second one is pitch, third one is quality or timbre. Let us take the first. Dear students, as you know, two musical sounds may differ from one another in one or more of these characteristics. We will now discuss these characteristics in detail. First, I have this here is loudness. As you know, sounds are produced by vibrating objects. If more energy is supplied to an object by hitting it more strongly or stretching it more strongly, then the objects will vibrate with greater amplitude and produce a louder sound. The loudness of sound is actually a measure of sound energy reaching the ear per second. यहाँ पे मैं लिख रहा हूँ, the loudness of sound is a measure of the sound energy reaching the ear per second. So greater the sound energy reaching our ears per second, loud the sound will appear to be. The loudness of sound depends on the amplitude of the sound. As we discussed the characteristics of sound wave. As you know, the sound, it is a form of wave. So there we discussed earlier these characteristics, that is amplitude, wavelength. This sound loudness, it depends upon the amplitude of the sound wave. Greater the amplitude of the sound wave, greater will be its loudness. If suppose we take as example, any body producing sound but having lower amplitude, that is this type amplitude, you know, it is the distance between the mean position to the, this is the another position, that is the distance from this height to this height, this is known as amplitude. Another example, another body producing the sound but having greater amplitude. Here it is clear, the distance from this point in second case, it is greater than the distance from this point to this point. So this amplitude is small and this one is large. So here in this case the loudness will be this, we can see this sound is louder than the first one. So we know now the greater the amplitude of sound wave, louder the sound will be. Now we know that the loudness of sound depends on the this amplitude of the sound wave, or we can say amplitude of vibration of the source producing the sound waves. Remember another thing, that we measure this loudness in decibels. The loudness is measured in decibels. The loudness is measured in decibels. We write it in a symbolic form, that is small d and capital B. Dear students, when you listen any soft sound, which humans sometimes these produce, the soft sound which humans ear can hear is said to have loudness of 0 decibels. Of 0 decibels. Or we will take another example. Usually when people are talking quietly, the loudness of that sound is approximately 65 decibels. But the loudness of sound in very high noisy factory is about 100 decibels, and the sound of a jet aircraft is a jet 50 meters away is said to have the loudness of about 130 decibels. That is very noisy. This was about the loudness. Now you know loudness, it is the property of sound. That is it, this loudness, it depends upon the amplitude of the sound wave. Greater the amplitude of a sound wave, greater will be the loudness. It is the SI unit of this loudness. It is measured in decibels, and when a body produces soft sound, the loudness of that is said to be 0 decibels. 0 decibels. The loudness of a jet aircraft is about 130 decibels. Now the another characteristic, that is pitch. What is pitch? As we know, the two people, especially there is difference in the sound of boys and girls. What is the reason behind it? It depends, actually it depends upon the pitch of the sound. Pitch depends upon the frequency of a vibration, frequency of vibration produced by the producing the sound waves, vibration of source producing the sound waves. Here this loudness depends upon the amplitude of the sound wave. So second one is pitch. The second characteristic is the pitch of sound depends upon the frequency of vibration. The pitch of a sound is directly proportional to the frequency. That means greater the frequency, greater will be the pitch. As I have given you the example of two, this is when boys produce any sound that has low frequency. It is why, and girls when it produce sound that has high frequency, we feel a shrillness in their sound. That is why, because they have high frequency. Sound of these two sounds, they may be their loudness may be same, but they will differ in only in their pitch. That means the amplitude will be same, but the frequency of these two sounds will be different. That is why we feel the shrillness in these two sounds, and this is the pitch. So you know now that the pitch of sound, it depends upon the frequency of vibration. The pitch depends on the frequency of sound wave. Now greater the pitch, greater the frequency of sound, higher will be its pitch. सिंपली मैं लिख रहा हूँ, greater the frequency, higher will be pitch. Faster the vibrations of sound producing source, the higher is it the frequency and higher is the pitch. this point will be become more clear from following experiment. We put a bicycle on its stand so that it is a rear wheel. Back wheel is free to rotate. We rotate the bicycle wheel by using pedals and touch its spikes with the edge of a cardboard piece. We will hear a sound as the cardboard touches the spoke and spoke. As we go on increasing the speed of the rotation of the wheel, the shrillness of sound produced increases. Increasing the speed of the rotation of the wheel, the shrillness of the sound produced increases, or pitch of the sound increases. This observation can be explained as follows. The cardboard piece is made to vibrate by the spoke of the bicycle wheel, and the frequency of the vibration depends on the speed of the rotation of the wheel. When the wheel is rotated rapidly, the frequency of the vibration of cardboard piece increases, due to which the pitch of the sound produced also increases. From this experiment we conclude that the pitch of the sound is determined by the frequency of vibration of the object which produces sound. This was all about the pitch. So students, inshallah tomorrow we will discuss the next property, the characteristics of the sound, that is quality, that is also known as timbre. It is enough for today. Characteristics of sound, that is loudness, pitch and quality, we are going to discuss inshallah tomorrow.